right. Welcome everyone to Pine Grove News Live. And let's see. Turn the music off. Let's see if actually hear me. Gonna go over to check YouTube Live and see whether I can hear it there. Yeah, so far I can. All right. God bless, Hen. Good to see you again. Hope you're making progress there with Mom and things. That's it, man. Praying for her, praying for you and your husband. A lot of prayers going on. A lot of people need them. You know, there's we could tell it's pretty close to Jesus coming back. I mean, simply because the attacks on Christians had just multiplied beyond measure right now. And we will be tested. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to, we have a lot of news tonight, so I'm going to drag out the story of my injury and missed 2 days of work this week because the delayed reaction to the snow that I shoveled Monday, the 8 or 9 inches of pretty heavy snow. Went to work 2 days after that, started feeling soreness in my shoulder. And come Wednesday afternoon, I was, my left arm was incapacitated. So much pain in the shoulder. I had to put my arm in a sling, and I had to get pressure off that shoulder, holding that arm. But anyways, I missed the last 2 days, including today of work. And I'm just hoping I have enough energy to get through this. And this is going to be a long one, especially if I talk. So it's Friday. I believe it's Friday. Yes, it's Friday. Thank God. Don't forget to turn your clocks back tomorrow night before you go to bed. Daylight saving time. So, and yes, it is still kind of twilight outside. So, when the sun goes down, those who celebrate the Sabbath on the eve or Saturday, or whenever you celebrate it, doesn't matter as long as you take the time. We all need to take the time, or else these attacks that come to us will be continuing in strength, and it just will wipe us out. These past 3 days, I've been listening to, brother and old watchman in Northern California going through his stuff for 4 weeks now. His back, and but he's making progress, and that's a good thing. And don't worry, yes, I like playing that song because we are going to be okay. We're going to be okay. We're just being tested and refined. That's why we're here. We're being refined by the fire. I mean, go read Job, man. If you want to know what somebody can go through, you read Job, and your situation, well, for me anyway, seems so trivial. It just seems so small. And you need that kind of aspect. I don't know, comparison to somebody else's. There's always somebody who's going through something worse than you or me. So with that, bring you some news that we're all here for. And start with the weather like we normally do. So, yeah, and I wanted to ask you, do we have volume? Do we have audio? I know I did hear it for YouTube, but just go. I think I got it all set up right anyway. Something I did, it was, and Mixler is a pain in the butt. My microphone was turned off, so all kinds of things happened. That was one of the very few attacks that, he knows I get irritated, to a point. But the Lord has given me so many other avenues to go to. If I can't go to YouTube, no problem. I'm able to still download to or upload to my website, 12pine.com. where I first put the edited video on, and it's not on YouTube. Excuse me, it will be on vimeo.com/12pine. And I also have accounts at BitChute and Brighton, and well, those are the only ones right now I really upload to. But if the YouTube works, I hardly ever go to the other ones. And forever gets it. But anyways, let's start with, I guess, an asteroid. You know, one of those asteroids that they will not tell you about. It's just, there's just so much stuff up there. I mean, between what we put up there and all this stuff in the asteroid belt, I'm going to learn some more stuff about that. I mean, I think the asteroid belt is either after Mars or, yeah, I think it's after Mars. And then you have the asteroid belt. Then you have the outer planets. And then you have that, I don't know if it's called a Kuiper belt or whatever, but that's the one furthest out. So, and then, of course, you have the other radiation belts, like the Van Allen belt. But anyway, this asteroid, 2019 EH1, flew past Earth at just a fraction over half the distance from here to the moon. So, another flyby that they're not going to tell you about until it goes past. See, flew past. You will not know unless you go check it yourself. You can do that work yourself. Go to the JPL and that's the Jet Propulsion Laboratory .gov, I guess, and you can find all this information there and look through it. It's not that hard. The more you look at it, the more you learn. So. And also at the Watchers, we have a C1 solar, I don't know why, solar flare warning. C1.3 solar flare erupts from a geoeffective region, 2734, CME impact possible. They're saying it will be possible, what are the dates? 11th to charts and other stuff down here. Yeah, March 11th or the 12th. Since the region is located in a geoeffective position, a coronal mass ejection impact is possible on March 11th or the 12th. And it's 3 days, 3 or 4 days from now. So Monday, Tuesday, and you know, we know the symptoms or signs of those things, right? Interruptions in internet, cell phone service, and any other frequency or airwaves that go through our atmosphere could be subjected to that. Okay, we're going to go to the big wobble and some information about our wettest winter on record for the U.S. Second wettest February ever, and cold and snow records tumble. Montana, 28 degrees Fahrenheit below normal, 10 degrees colder than the old record. We should know this. This happens every year now, at least for the past 5 years. I'm sure it's probably happened in other cases like uptick in earthquakes and volcanoes erupting. That is always increasing too, but it definitely has been more than 5 years, I guess, for the earthquakes. Don't know exactly how long that increase in frequency and ferocity has been going on, but we can always look it up. Also from Big Wobble, 8 years on water woes threaten Fukushima cleanup, with fish found around the waters of Hawaii and Alaska contaminated with cesium-134, the radioactive fingerprint of Fukushima. Yeah, they all have their numbers. Cesium-134, specific to each nuclear site. You ever watched, what was it called? With Morgan Freeman and the other one, something Fear. The Sum of All Fears. You ever see that movie? That was when they actually brought a nuclear bomb, a dirty bomb. It was a small suitcase type thing that could fit in a cigarette machine, and that's exactly what they did in the movie. And I guess they brought it to where? Some coastal place where they had a football game. I'm not really sure where they brought it. Philadelphia. But anyway, yeah, I'm just saying, they had a cesium. They found out where the cesium came from by testing it and finding out where it came from. That's how they ended up finding out who did it and so on and so forth. So each one has its own fingerprint for a reason. So I found this very interesting. Those who are following this guy, Macron, over there in France, maybe, maybe one of the possibilities for the Antichrist setup or something. This is from Signs of the Last Days. France's Macron publishes letter in 28 EU nations. Critics say it's a takeover plan. And that's the only reason I put this in here, man. Otherwise, they don't even like him. His own countrymen do not like him. I don't know how he got voted in then if they don't like him. I guess they voted him in, then they decided not to like him. But anyway, the French president, Emmanuel, okay, just remember that. Emmanuel Macron has published a letter in newspapers in all the EU member states ahead of the European elections scheduled for the end of May. In the letter, he laid out his vision of Europe, and he also called for the new EU instructions and a common defense strategy to protect the European Union. Macron said in his proposals, unveiled in an open letter to citizens of Europe that was published in newspapers across the EU, are to protect and defend Europe's citizens while giving the 28-nation bloc new impetus in the face of global competition. And that's all we're going to read from that. I'll leave these links. There are going to be a lot of links, and there may be a point where I can't put them all in there. I don't even know if I'm going to get to them all, but we will try. We'll try. From the World Tribune, court recognizes human rights. This is a good thing. Court recognizes human rights of aborted child. A state can sue for wrongful death. This is in Alabama, I believe. Awesome thing that they did there. So an aborted child has been recognized as a person with rights by an Alabama probate court. I want to praise them, give them all the praise that they need, but glory to God, because he's the one who did it. Let them do it, did it through them. I hope this is a step in the right direction. We can pray for that. So the court's decision this week will enable the father, Ryan Magers, to sue the abortion clinic, Alabama Women's Center for Reproductive Alternatives, its staff, and pharmaceutical company on behalf of his aborted child's estate. I mean, you can't, come on, man. Common sense, reality says that is a person separate from the mother. May be still attached to the mother, but it is a separate entity, man. And we need to have people step up and speak out and put this, into their minds instead of this infanticide. Instead of all we know about, we keep hearing infanticide. Why don't we put some stuff out there and say, what is it? Whatever we can, get these rights of these children recognized, because they are living beings who cannot speak for themselves. They do not talk, at least that I know of, when they come out of the womb. They cry. That's the only thing that they can do. That's why they get slapped on the behind, besides making sure that their airways are clear, I guess. So we're pleased with the court's decision to recognize Baby Roe as a person who has a right to have her case heard. It is the first time in history, as far as we know, the voice of those who cannot speak for themselves has been heard in a court setting. Hallelujah. Good. So good. Natural Blaze. You got a recall. Lifeline bottled water could be contaminated with a deadly bacteria. They all probably could, but I'm glad they're recalling them. I don't think I've ever heard of that water. So McDaniel Lifeline has voluntarily recalled all lots of Lifeline water. In an analysis, the FDA found the product to be contaminated with Pseudomonas aeruginosa. And obviously, I probably killed that, but Pseudomonas. What is that? It is a potentially deadly bacteria, particularly for those with weakened immune systems. Hey, everyone. Lifeline bottled water. Lifeline. New World Order report. 21 states sued Trump to force funding a Planned Parenthood abortion clinic. And I'm only putting this out here because this is my, what do you call it, last straw card. Now, I'm going to go out and I'm going to go to the White House, site, and I'm going to sign a petition, and I'm going to be passing it out to all the people I know, and we are going to sign this petition to stop these 21 states from getting any funding from us to kill babies. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. This is, something I've been led to do at the moment. Finally, I've been asking, avenues that I could go to besides this, besides, the news. And so everyone else is doing it. We could do it. It only takes a signature, 2 to 5 minutes up there, just probably less than that, 2 to 5 minutes. I will be passing out the link as soon as I get it straightened out. Maybe I'll try and do it over the weekend. I wrote it down. So, yeah, they should not be getting our money for these Planned Parenthood abortion clinics. No way. 21 states. That's pretty dismal. It's less than half. I mean, I guess that's good. Yeah, I'm going to play this, okay? This is from Daily Mail, whatever. Oops. All right. I just want to play this because it is actually the swearing in of AOC. And she just, the faces she makes when she has to say I do to, upholding the Constitution. She has nothing about the Constitution. She hates the Constitution. She hates America. She hates the people running it. She hates the people. She's all about herself. And if you watch this video, I mean, it's 1 minute, 17 seconds. I know people in Mixer can't see videos or the news being read. They can only hear. But anyway, they can all listen to it afterwards. 1 minute and 17 seconds. And the faces she makes, and she even hesitates on the first one about the Constitution. So here you go. Hopefully it'll play. Let me make sure that volume up on speakers in case it that's about. But anyway, here we go.
United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
I do.
I solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
1001, 1002, 1003.
That you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
I do.
That you take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or
She keeps closing her eyes and bowing her head like, oh no, I have to say
and
this.
faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which you are about to enter, so help you God.
I do.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I do. She does not. She is not. Okay? It's all about her. Yeah, socialism is all about it's a class, warfare. It's the rich or the well-to-do that stick together, and the rest of the people are poor. They take all their money and give it to each other. That's how it goes. And what's going on with AOC right now, okay? I don't even want to mention her name. They're calling her AOC, and she's being looked at for something else now besides moving that this so-called dark money or slush fund into one account into the other with campaign funds, which she's not allowed to do, or she's at least allowed. She's supposed to state exactly what she's why she's moving it into what, but she didn't. Anyways, you'll hear more about that. Yeah, this whole computer went poofy. I had to reboot 30 minutes before, so some of these tabs will take just a little bit longer. Load. This from News Punch. Trump says there are people in Congress who hate our country. Need I say more? We just talked about one of them. Also from News Punch. This news I haven't heard of before, but anyways, Chelsea Manning jailed for refusing to testify in the WikiLeaks case. Now that was somebody else jailed. She's jailed until she comes out and tells who her sources are. So, or until the case is done with. So she's going to jail again. And I guess she was in there before. So she appeared before the grand jury on Wednesday and invoked her First, Fourth, and Sixth Amendment rights. She said the questions pertain to her 2010 disclosures of American military's misconduct, and she had answered those extensively during her 2013 court-martial. Is this the Chelsea Manning who's being accused of spying against her country? Was that it? And I don't know for sure, so I hope I don't get in trouble for that. A former U.S. Army intelligence analyst said she had refused to testify because she objects to the secrecy of the grand jury process. And had already revealed that, as we said, she did in 2013. So the judge said that she will remain in jail until she testifies or until the grand jury concludes its work. Good luck, Chelsea. At least somebody has some cojones, have some values to stick up to. I don't know. I don't think people have too many good values, morals, or anything else these days. And also from News Punch, Cortez under investigation over constitutional email service abuse. This is the second one. I think she's been targeted. Her and that Omar as well. There was a new law, we'll get to that was passed today by the Democrats, and I think that law, anyways, we'll get it when we get there. Turn us into Canada, which I think we've already just about been doing, for potentially abusing her constitutional email server. Okay. Let's see. Fox News reports. Oh, yes. I didn't show this before, but I have to now. Keeps disappearing on me, but we'll show it. Just need to show that Fair Use Act thing, and then we'll get out of here. And so Fox News reports this complaint alleges Representative Alexandria Cortez improperly converted U.S. House resources to her non-official personal use by obtaining an official @mail.house.gov email address for her boyfriend, despite the fact that he was not employed by her congressional office. Reads a line from the complaint obtained by Fox News. Moreover, it appears she obtained the email address for him by falsely designating him as a staff member. So, I mean, you know, she is a politician. You know, she does lie and stretch the truth and mean something else. But anyways, I mean, I think she's only a freshman. Everyone keeps calling her. She has a lot to learn, but I don't think she's going to get the chance. I really don't think so. Her and Omar, I mean, the two that really should be ousted, including Pelosi and Waters. There's a couple other women. You know, they have 430 something, 434 women in that house. I forget where it is. This one from Activist Post. Don't be duped by the latest universal basic income scheme. We've heard about that a lot. Hey, Tesla guy. I know his name all the time. I don't have no problems, saying it at other times, but it's not coming up. But anyways, the Tesla and the SpaceX rockets, all that stuff. That guy. He's one of the guys that mentioned something about this universal income. And apparently they have numbers. This universal income, the promise of $1,000 a month of government payout for every American adult over the age of 18 is nothing more than a rebranded of what is commonly known as a universal basic income. First of all, people, $1,000 a month. I know some people, don't have anything, and $1,000 a month is more than what they've had. Yes, but $1,000 a month is nothing. I mean, $1,000 a month is $1,000. But if you don't own a home, I guess you still got to pay rent. So $1,000 won't even pay some people's mortgages or rents. So a month, a week, that's a different story. Then you could probably work around that. But a universal income of only $1,000 a month, I hope that includes free internet, free Wi-Fi, free phones, free food delivered to your door, MREs, maybe something like that. Yeah. Universal basic income. So there's the figure. I always wanted to know what that figure that they've come up with for that. And it's funny. NPR report on 5G mentioned nothing about widespread opposition or that Telecom can't prove 5G is safe. Okay, just a report. And this guy, Mr. Blumenthal, who is representative of Connecticut, and he's a liar. He faked and lied about his time in Vietnam. We've all known about that. Trump has even called him out, and I can't stand the guy. This state right here is red, and these people are all on drugs. They are. It's all for the rich here, and the poor get moved around and into different districts. So anyways, there you have it. 5G is not safe. And our representatives are learning more about that as it's being implemented and talked about more. China wants to come out with it now, and we're supposed to be, at the groundbreaking level. Well, we could make billions. Well, not we, the government, the elites could make billions, and nobody else is to stand in their way. And then again, I have to point to Georgia Guidestones, their first commandment: bring the population. Well, not bring. I don't know exactly the wording, but they want a 500 million manageable number for the population. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what it says now. I should know it. I mentioned it enough, but yeah. Well, and then we can just go on. They are sterilizing men and women. China already has their one baby. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's just one baby. But anyway, point, no real point in that 5G. Just mentioned, okay? Just want to mention, just want to get it out there. Not good. People are dying from it. A whole fire department got some type of brain damage and other ulcers and cancers from the 5G that was in their lot. It's just bad. It kills, and you wonder why we're having mass extinctions and mass die-offs of all kinds of creatures. Testing of this thing. They've even come out and told it there was 2 tests and birds and I don't know, some other rare birds were, maybe even bats, falling out of the trees. Anyway. 5 ways Green New Deal exactly mirrors Agenda 2030. Okay, I was going to go over these, but it will take a while to go over it. You want to know how this Green New Deal exactly mirrors the Agenda 2030? Originally, Agenda 21. They have brief descriptions. Similarities. There's 5. I'll leave the link. There are similarities. So, and this one on the Good News Network. Good News Network. I don't know how good this one is, but I took it anyway. FDA approves the first depression treatment in decades. And it's a nasal spray doctors can administer for quick relief. Yeah, big pharma again, I don't see anything good about that. Instantly relieves you of this depression. I mean, what is it? Is it some kind of cocaine or what do they call those? Amphetamines, Yes, I used to take a couple of those things in school to do my geometry test. And I did very well because of it. In any case, it's a pretty big, lifter-upper. And I do not recommend any of that. No. Prayer is the answer to those things. So, but of course, what's their treatment going to be? Yeah, some kind of pharmaceutical drug. It has a lot to do with the chemicals that it's being introduced in our bodies, at least for the past 30, 40 years. A lot of them are getting Alzheimer's and dementia and those things that affect the brain. And many of those things are actually during the birth and, what do you call it, the gestation period, chemicals that the mother induces that she don't know that she's, drinking, like fluoride in the water. And the chemicals that they're spraying in the air. It's not global warming. It's not. Barium and aluminum particles and others. There's a list. Maybe I should get that and tape a sticky note to my mirror because I'm constantly referring to that. And not only that, poisoning of our waters. And the laws that they're making, well, you can't collect water. Why is it that you can't collect water? Two things that come to mind. One of them is they don't want us to find out what's in the water. Because it may include the things that they're spraying. You may get a list of chemicals. I'm sure people have already done that. You can't collect it. You know why? Because they want you to be dependent on them. You're dependent on them. That's why there's a lot of places that food isn't grown anymore, or the soil is spoiled or contaminated. The rivers are being contaminated with this fracking stuff and other things. All this stuff from the air comes down during these storms. All this flooding that's going on all around the world, overlapping the whole land, washing all this stuff into our waters. That's in the Bible. Wormwood. Yeah, bitterness. Anyway, Okay, these last few are taking a little bit to come on, so we'll try it this way. World Israel News: Syria will attack Israel unless it withdraws from the Golan. Okay. There's your rumors of war. WND: self-driving cars could be more likely to run over black people. You kidding me? I kind of found this a little funny. Yes, I did. Computer vision systems are better at detecting people with lighter skin tones. Why are we not going after these cars and this company for racism? Seriously, not. I mean, they're freaking calling everything else racist and bigots and all this other stuff. I mean, you can just turn this around and call that. I mean, that's what Canada does. You know, you can't. You got to be politically correct in everything you say. Anyways, I just thought it was funny. I got a kick out of it. Manafort sentenced to 47 months for fraud in the Mueller case. 47 months? What is that? That's 4 years minus 1 month. Federal judge on Thursday sentenced President Donald Trump's former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, to 47 months in prison, a far shorter length of time than prosecutors in the case had argued for. Okay. All right. Let's go open up these other ones. From WND: Pelosi demands newcomers be given vote. Okay, this hit a little nerve because that's what they wanted to do. That's why we have this rush of the southern border. Yeah, it's all done. Started with Obama, and it was for the Democratic. I don't know what you call them anymore. Representatives. I don't know what they're representing, but it's not our government. It's another government. That's what they wanted to use all these, southern border refugees for, or immigrants. And now she's going to put across a bill for them to be able to vote. They should not be able to vote. If they come across, they should do it legally. And I've heard, because I've talked to these people who had to go through these things, you had to learn English or have a good understanding of English. You had to learn its history, its foundations, the Constitution. And you don't do that in one. It takes a little bit. It takes a bit. And I agree with that. You should know about our country. Not be paid money to come across the border and then go to DMV and get a license and then go vote. I don't think that's right at all, and it's not. And it should be something. There should be something done about that. Aren't people talking about that? That and all the other voter rigging. Yeah, that blue wave that was supposed to happen, that would have happened if it wasn't for all the rigging. A lot of this stuff just wasn't looked into and just got shuffled underneath the floor. All the recounts, normally it happens in Florida anyway, but I think they all should be done by paper ballot. It's just can be hacked too easily doing it over the internet. Not be allowed. Anyway. And then there's some other things that they passed. I want to get to that one soon. Democrats vote to give illegal immigrants the right to vote. Oh, they already voted. So the House Democrats voted Friday to defend, that's today, localities that allow illegal immigrations to vote in their elections, turning back a GOP attempting to discourage the practice. So the vote marks a stunning reversal from just 6 months ago when the chamber, then under GOP control, voted to decree illegal immigrant voting. This is California, okay? That's where Pelosi is, and that's where all the mess is. I hear it every day from World Watchmen, the things that they do and the bills that they pass there. You know, I follow California because when that happens, Connecticut is usually the one to follow them. They've already come up with some junk crap laws like you got to have dog insurance, okay? Don't worry, there's no mention of cats. I mean, you don't have to license cats, you got to license dogs. I don't get, I mean, aren't they being, what do you call it? Aren't they, I don't even know the word, so I don't use it that much. I hear it a lot. And a racial divide between the animals, right? I'm sure they'll probably get to that. Anyway, that's in California. I mean, we're next, and then, but they passed another law too. Oh, this one. Okay, we're almost done anyway. I want to get to that. I believe it's this one right here. A little short video clip.
He approved a resolution.
So the House passes an anti-bigotry resolution. And this happened, I'm probably just going the wrong way here, but hold on. Before we get to that, let's go to end time headlines. Racial sex ed around every corner. This program exposes kids to mermaid boys and transgender stars. Why do the kids have to be educated? I thought that was always the parents' job to do that. Why are the schools doing it now? Why is this LGBT being taught to our 4-year-olds, our 6-year-olds? Where's the outcry in that? Leave the damn kids alone. If I still had kids in school, and I still have grandkids, and if I find, I do ask my grandkids what's being taught in school. First time I ever heard that the kids were allowed to bring calculators in to do their math. We were actually the opposite. They did not allow them in there. So anyway, the National Educational Association has partnered with the United States leading LGBTQ organization to teach children about same-sex attraction and gender dysphoria. March 2nd was the NEA's annual Red Across America Day program, a day when teachers, schools, and libraries, remember the transgender book reading in these libraries, host events aimed at encouraging children to read. Yeah, but they give them what they're going to read. So this year, the NEA partnered with the Human Rights Campaign, HRC, the United States' largest LGBTQ advocacy and lobbying group, to expose children to an array of LGBTQ-themed books. Now, we gotta stand up, people. We have been letting these things go. No, there are some who speak out, but it's not enough. Not enough. Unless there's being, unless change comes with those few people. But I know they need help. I know some parents spoke up about one of these things, earlier in the year. But they told the parents they can't do anything. And then, the parents go and trying to get the kid out of the school, and now we're going to have to homeschool them, and then they go after and fine them and send child care services after them and charge them with abuse and all this other stuff. This is the Common Core and what the government is trying to do. It's trying to take the children away, and they've succeeded so far. It's a sign of the times, and it's we're letting it happen. Going on here. Atheists speak out against a day of prayer during a Senate committee meeting. Yeah, well, they're probably always going to do that now. So the bill would designate the last Wednesday of September as a day of prayer for students in Kentucky. The bill's sponsor, Republican Representative Gina Huff, said it would allow students of all faiths to gather around campus and pray. I think that if it's in the statute, regardless of the administration of the school district, those students know that the last Wednesday of September is the day that they have had when they can join in unities. It's a global environment and pray. Anyways, I thought we were to, separate church and state and all that stuff, but if they can bring that back in, prayer into school or any institution, back, bring God back, that would be great. North Korea escalates rhetoric following reports of new nuclear activity. And we got the news the other day that leader of North Korea was up to it again. North Korea on Thursday blasted new smaller scale U.S. South Korean military exercises as an open challenge to the aspiration of Pyongyang, seemingly rejecting what had been a key compromise President Donald Trump made following a summit with North Korea leader Kim Jong-un last month. Yeah, that was one of his biggest problems, and I don't blame him. You got the U.S. and South Korea. Major operations, things going on at the border. That would make a lot of people nervous, especially, the leader of North Korea. I don't know, maybe at a smaller scale, Trump was going to, whatever. It's a game playing thing, and this is what they do. So I'm, gonna just let that go. I mean, he probably has the right to go in, do what he's doing because of those still looming threats. I mean, that's basically what it is. It's to let them know that they're not, backing off, going away. Teacher admits she hasn't read the Constitution after telling student to remove Ash Wednesday symbol. Now, why does a teacher have the right to do that, whether it was Ash Wednesday or Palm Friday? Whatever. What happens if he had, a little bit of lipstick? Maybe his mother kissed him on the cheek early in the morning. What is the problem with the teacher that this child, something on his face bothers her so much that he, has to remove it? Leave the kids alone. The one school district in Utah is on cleanup duty after a teacher made a fourth grade student wipe the cross of ashes off his forehead, which he received at church to commemorate Ash Wednesday. When William, a Catholic, arrived at school, he quickly noticed he was the only one wearing an ash cross. So he was answering his peers' questions about the religious symbol. A lot of students asked me what it is. I said, I'm a Catholic. It's the first day of Lent. It's ash. Soon after he got to school, William's teacher came up to him and gave him a disinfectant wipe and told him to scrub the cross off his forehead. The young student tried to explain the significance of the symbol, but his teacher, who called the cross inappropriate, didn't listen. No, they're not going to listen. She took me aside and she said, you have to take it off. William remembered she gave me a disinfectant wipe, whatever they are called, and she made me wipe it off. And the story goes on. Yeah, it's a battle. This one I got a couple days ago. 60,000 Christians gather in Orlando for Jesus movement of this generation. This was posted. Oh, I didn't realize it was posted that long ago. That was way back in last day of February, 8 days ago. I don't know, it was lingering in here, so I decided to include it. From across the United States gathered on a Saturday to be part of a new Jesus movement. Ascend was a 10-hour event organized by youth with a mission, Christ for all nations, the Lou Engle of Lou Engle Ministries. The Orlando, Florida event at the Camping World Stadium featured several collaborators from various national ministries who hope to motivate Christians to fulfill their God-given call. Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. This is the last article. It's basically a 9-minute video, which I'm not going to play all of it. Maybe just a minute, maybe a minute and a half. The House passes in, believe it, basically made up by the Democrats. So House passes an anti-bigotry resolution. I listened to it, but you know what I get out of this video? What I get out of this video is not that, they're making it seem like, okay, Democrats and Republicans do not like the anti-Semitism from Representative Omar, okay, Democrat, who has made some comments, and I don't know exactly what she said, but I've heard them, and how she was able to even get into politics. She swore an oath on the Quran, which, whatever. I mean, that's not America. America is not the Quran. They are not Islam. They're not Muslim. We don't, or at least we say we don't. We're Christians or Catholics or Protestants or whatever. But we believe in life for the most part, not death. And we don't believe in hate. Believe in love. But, like I said, this thing just rings out to me, Canada, old Canada. They have a lot of that and hate speech. It's basically censoring your first amendment of the Constitution. Free speech. Free speech. Now, when you start passing bills that hate speech, you can't hate speech anymore. You will be arrested for it. And this was before this resolution, I think, was passed, this anti-bigotry resolution. Who decides what is anti-bigotry? Who decides that? How do you know if someone is saying that in that context? Maybe it was a different context. Who gets to decide? So you see what I mean? Anyways. And I believe Canada has a lot of that. And, got to be careful what you say and don't offend anybody. So you got to be politically correct in everything. And if you're not, then you're considered, bigot or a hater. Just we're letting these Democrats, and I don't know why the president has it. Well, it's a resolution. Does it go before the president? I don't know what these resolutions really mean. Do they solve something? Got to go look up the word definition of resolution. The only definition I get of resolution is clarity. Is that what it means? Some kind of clarity to anti-bigotry? In any case, things are changing, and we don't get a hold of it. Well, we'll see. We got 2020 elections coming up in another year and a half, and they're already starting to campaign, and they've got a lot. They went from 0 Democratic hopefuls, nominees, or whatever you want to call them, hopefuls, to too many. I mean, I could probably, Harris, I don't know, I guess I can only name one. Most of them are women, though, on the Democratic side. Oh, yeah, well, Sanders, I mean, he claims that he might run. And Clinton is on the fence about whether she will, too. And she's not taking it off the fence, but she is on the fence. So she's still waiting. I don't know what she's waiting for, but we'll see. I guess she'll wait for all the other Democratic hopefuls to come and stand up there, and then she'll say, well, yeah, no problem. I can take out all those. Yeah, they're too weak. It would be interesting, again, to see Trump and Clinton there again. See how much more she would cheat. There's all kinds of things. I've never seen anything like this. keep going. I mean, 2.5 years now into his presidency, and they're going, way, way deep. Probably go back to kindergarten now, where he probably tripped a girl in the schoolyard. Yeah, because she kissed him on the cheek or something, So, yeah, they'll probably get that and probably try to impeach him for that, bullying women. But unfortunately, it's not a woman. It was a little girl. Bullying little girls. I mean, yes, they can make up a law for that. But we know, we've all been through that stuff, the girl boy thing, 10 years and younger, kindergarten, yeah. We didn't want to have anything to do with the girls, but the girls did. So, yeah, But anyway, all right, that's it for tonight. I don't know if I'm going to be doing anything over the weekend. Maybe just playing music again. Maybe throwing a couple sermons. Maybe talk. I feel like talking, but we'll see how my arm affects me. Sometimes I just got to go lay down and leave the thing just not moving for a while. Whether it's in a sling, it's still in a sling. It still gets moved around you. Anyway, whatever. So with that, take care of each other, man. There's so much hate. And that was the other thing, they're coming out with these hate speech things. And I mean, while I was getting the news, you know how much hate's out there. You've seen it. I mean, there was 2 women who fought at a McDonald's, 2 employees. 2 girls just, throwing punches like a mile a minute. And then the other employees breaking them up. But I've seen it before. It's increasing. The love of many will grow cold. There's some that will have no natural affection. I believe that there's a few in Congress. In any case, we need to keep an eye on each other, keep praying for each other, get together, read from the Bible, study the Bible. That would be so amazing if I could get something like that here, but I think I'm so far away from that I just need to keep praying for it. I would love that. That they, first of all, need to get my oldest, who is now living with me, to even, acknowledge the Bible. Because, she claims, oh, yes, well, the Bible was, written by men, and, they are just not about God. They're about themselves. And, well, you don't understand. But, she does a lot of reading. So I don't see how she could just single that book out. I mean, I know how, because she's being fed that delusion. She reads plenty of other books and gets that information out of there and takes for whatever she can get out of that. So there's that block. There's that stumbling block that praying on the Lord to take away. And that maybe she will open it up again and find out the truth. Truth will set us free. With that, I know there's a lot of people going through trials. I'll be praying for you. I pray for you all week. Pray for it more on Saturday and Sunday. We have Sweet Hour of Prayer over at Shepherds for Jesus on Mixler. Sunday afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Come in, bring your petitions, support others, prayers, or you could just come in there and just sit and listen to the music and see what's going on with other people. We need to take care of each other. We need support. Some of these attacks are so hard that it's hard to reach out when you've been knocked to the ground and somebody's got their foot on your head. Yeah, it's what it feels like sometimes. But God bless you all. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend. Have a great Sabbath. Enjoy each other, and peace out.